Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms again, another Tales from the Longbox. This is Ms. Marvel #1. I do think this is a reprint. I can't imagine a modern comic having a $1 price tag, for one thing. And then this True Believers banner, it makes me think. I seem to remember these, and I seem to remember those all being reprints, so I don't know. It has a bunch of 2015 ads in it, so anyway, as you can look, yeah, now, this is like borderline for me. It's like the art is getting into that cartoony mode, and I don't really love it as much as art from other eras. But this is not as egregious as some, so I kind of tolerate it a little more. Now, a lot of this comic is just really introducing the world of Kamala Khan and all the people around her, and how she's a big fangirl of superheroes. Of course she is. Because that was one of the things about the character that I did kind of gravitate towards, was that she's a fangirl. You know, just like we're a fan, you know, you can be a fanboy, fangirl, but, you know, she was a fan, and, like, and her parents and her family always reacted to it like, oh, Kamala, come on, you can't take this child stuff seriously. And, you know, it's fun, is the point. And, you know, I thought that was a kind of bordering, you know, I don't want to say meta, a much overused word, but, you know, meta-ish kind of a trope there. And, you know, I do notice as we go on, the art gets a little bit better, the backgrounds get a little bit better. So, again, not as egregious as some art I've seen in some modern comics. Now this I don't like. I think this is a little, I don't know, bit plain. This is the party, and of course they slip her some alcohol, and that becomes very important to her Muslim faith. You know, I kind of like this, and how, you know, upset she gets, and how you learn so much about the character in that one little, you know, spit take. And again, you know, when I was reading this, I was like, God, this is like a young teen comic. I mean, this isn't a superhero. So then she runs into, I don't know if this was ever explained, the Terrigen Mists. Did they ever explain why the hell the Terrigen Mists are floating around New York? I don't know. But, you know, Terrigen Mists are what makes Inhumans, well, basically inhuman. And, you know, everybody else is drunk, so they just think it's a hallucination or something. And, you know, here we have Carmella. She's waking up, fangirling again, you know, as we all do. But obviously a hallucination of some sort. And then, you know, the mists are still clearing out, but obviously something's happened here. She has a conversation with her hallucinations. And then, boom, Kamala changes into Ms. Marvel. The Ms. Marvel we know from as Carol Danvers. And she did run around in that looking like that for a little while. And finally she gained her own identity. I like that about the comic too, is that she became her own person, obviously influenced by the people she idolized. So that I thought was cool too. This is you know, a lot of people get into politics on this one, because it's like, I mean, and she recently, quote, died. We, of course, know she's not dead, but that's beside the point. But a lot of people get into politics. Why does she have to be Muslim? Why does she have to be Pakistani? Da-da-da. And I just enjoyed this for what it was. It was, you know, Ms. Marvel had become Captain Marvel, and nobody was walking around being Ms. Marvel at this point. So I didn't really mind the sort of legacy nature of the name, in as much as, you know, and I mean, she obviously, this is her fangirl shirt for Ms. Marvel, so she obviously idolized Ms. Marvel. And I always find it very interesting, people's reaction to this one. Because I found it to be a nice, cute story overall. Once I had a lot of trouble with the art initially. But then I got past it when I read the whole thing. I really kind of liked it. This first issue, I think if I had picked it up, because what my recollection is, I picked it up, opened this page, and I was like, ooh, I hate that art. Oh, like this right here. I just hated that. That looked, how she looked. And I think if I had gone further, I would have noticed the art seems to get a little better as the book goes along. I don't know what happened on that first page. But I did stay away from this for a while, and then I had a trade, and I never read it. And then I finally read it, and I actually ended up liking it. So somebody gave me a trade, said, come on, give it a chance. And I think I took a year before I finally read it. And when I finally read Miss Marvel, I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. And I didn't, I don't get people's massive reaction to this character and to these stories. I don't mind it. It's just a person wanting to join the club, and she has the ability to join the club. Boom. She's there. Okay. The TV show took some liberties. I'm not going to get into the TV show. I'm just talking about the comic at this point. And I really enjoyed it. This first issue, it's a big lot of exposition, is its one problem. Because you have to introduce Kamala, I'm sorry. Anyway. And you have to introduce her life and her culture. It's a lot to absorb. The massive amount of exposition, I would say, to lead up to the dramatic ending, I'd say brings it down just a little bit. Press me, I'll do 3.5 stars, about 6 out of 10. It's a good intro, but leaves a little to be desired. The subsequent issues get a whole lot better once we get past that exposition and understand where this character is coming from. Anyway, that'll wrap up this one for Tales from the Longbox. Hope you're enjoying this series. I'm kind of enjoying flipping through these comics and actually reading them and enjoying them. I mean, I'm really enjoying, even the bad ones I'm enjoying. I'm like, wow, that's such schlock, but you know what? I'm having fun with it. So, yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, trying to make this a regular feature. Hopefully you like it and continue to watch, okay? Thank you for watching. Have a great day.